Hello and welcome to Raising Your Dream Child series, especially this on raising the smart child. I'm sure you are a smart parent because you have made a smart decision by investing to get this series for your child. I want to start by telling you that it is not what you have, it is what you do with what you have that matters. And that is very important that we straighten this out at the beginning. So let's get seated and begin this journey. I am here with you, Oluwatoyin Oluwatoyin. Thank you. Raising the smart child. Smart is a broad word that cuts across all aspects of human endeavor. Since we now live in a fast-moving world where technology, exposure to knowledge is making everything happen at the speed of light, things are changing at split seconds. Advancement in tech is permeating every sphere of human existence. Hence the urgent need to raise a smart child. Since the word smart is broad, then defining the smart child is also broad. And we will be doing this under the following. A smart child is a proactive child. A smart child is a child that we can say is never stranded. A smart child is a resourceful child. A smart child is one that is eager to learn. A smart child is one that is ready to become better. A smart child is one that has a developed and developing adaptive convergence. However, for every human being, you, the parent inclusive, and every child you have to raise, we all have the latent capacity. We all have that potential lying in us to be all of these and much more. Yes, we all have it. However, one of our roles as parents is to help our children fan their flame to fire. And that is why we have this. So don't look at your children and start saying, oh, this one has this one does not have this. You know, everyone has this potential in them to groom these skills. However, it's important we do our due diligence to groom these things to maturity in each of our children. However, temperament might want to play a fast one on some of these children, but our job is to understand each child and relate with them based on their uniqueness. So, let's continue on this journey. It is noteworthy that some parents are the ones seemingly frustrating the tendencies of their children to live out the smart potentials that are loaded in them. And these items, the various ways parents are doing this, we will list out. So, important facts about smartness that we need to clarify here. Some very important facts. Smartness has to do with cognitive ability and its relevance to productive daily life. So that has to do majorly with cognitive ability. And the word smart is also used to describe someone who has cognitive ability to think fast, logically, and correct. You know, the person is accurate, on point. That's what smartness really is. It has to do with speed, accuracy, and logically. Like we shared earlier, the goal of this entire exercise is to support you in helping your child develop internal tools that will help the child, one, pursue their passion, cope with difficulties of life, build lasting positive relationships, and make them be what they are meant to be, what they wish for, and what they are meant to be in life, in line with their passion, their interests, their skills, and their capacities. However, on this journey, there are 4 important tools we will need on this journey. There are 4 basic important tools that we will need. Moving our child from where they are or who they are to where we dream, for them to be. And of course, where the child also desire to be. The first one is compassion. Compassion to view the world from our child's point of view. The next is confidence. Confidence to set judicious limits. Limits that we know rhymes with a lot of things about our children. Then commitment to be part of this journey with our children. Commitment to be part of this journey. This requires a lot of sacrifice on our part. However, it's the sacrifice of parenting. It's the price we have to pay. And finally, the only F on this list is faith in the ability of your child to grow and learn. We need this faith. We need it seriously, such that we will help our children believe in themselves. So these are vital tools that you as the parents need to put together. You need to put in your bag on this journey to raising a smart kid, because we are getting to the big car, which is how to raise smart kids. The first and most important is know your child like a pro. You know what it means to know somebody like a professional? Yes. That's the first and most important. Know your child like a pro. It's a challenge we do annually, and if you want the recording, we have it. It's just for a token. We can always make it available to you at a very discounted stuff. Know your child like a pro. There is nothing like relating with someone that you know. There is nothing like relating with someone that you know. We know what it's like in a relationship with our friends, with our spouse, with our colleagues, and all of it. As superiors, as subordinates, in our businesses and all that. Knowledge of who that person is in details will help us relate well with the person. We know the triggers of the person. We know the motivating factors of the person. We know the things that puts the person off. We are on top of our game. And we are talking about knowing your child like a pro, like you are a professional. One of the biggest things you can do for yourself in the journey of parenting is to continuously know and unravel your child. Do you understand? It's one of the biggest things you can do for yourself on this journey of parenting. So the first way to helping your child become smart is you know who your child is, like a professional. Do you understand? That you can give someone a template of how to relate with your child. Do you understand? You can give someone a template, a guide on how best to relate with your child. And I can bet you when the person uses that tool effectively, the person would see the result, will see the impact of that template, of that guide that was given to him or her. Know your child effectively. Know them in and out. Study them. Don't assume. A lot of parents assume a lot of things. We believe we know, but in all sincerity, when we are tested, we discover that we don't know enough. Know your child. We all have an unknown self. We all have a part of us that is unraveling, that is evolving. When you make yourself a continuous student of your child, it becomes easy to know who your child is. It becomes easy for you to manage your child. It becomes easy for you to flow with your child because you know your child. Even when you see new things, when you sit down and observe, you can trace it out. You know where it's coming from, and you know if it's something that you want to accommodate or not. and you sit down and, work it out with your child. It's not everything a child is doing that they like. The same way, it's not everything you are doing that you like. We have habits that we struggle with. We have certain things that we struggle with. So the same thing it is with your child. There are certain things the child is doing that he or she does not even like. You should be able to differentiate it from the things that they are doing deliberately. Do you understand? So these are the things. When a child is still struggling with an habit and, acting like I need help on this matter, and yet all you do is judge, nail the child, then the child might seem frustrated by such action from the person that should support him or her on that journey. So one thing that I would ask us to do is know our child. Very, very important. As the fundamental, that is very fundamental to helping our children, to supporting them, is very fundamental to grooming them. Knowing our child, knowing who your child is. Then the next and also very important is reading. Reading cannot be overemphasized. Reading opens up the mind to positive possibilities. Reading opens us to the world out there that we may not be able to, we ordinarily may not connect with if we are not reading. Reading enhances the cognitive capacity because reading helps our the imaginary part of the brain. It helps help us to picture things. It helps us to see things. It helps us to see the world from different perspectives from the one we have in our immediate environment. Reading helps our children to become vast on a number of fronts, in the area of language, in the area of confidence, in the area of exposure. Reading does a lot to children. And a lot of children have been able to connect with people from the premise of reading. Reading also helps children develop social skills. It helps them develop social skills. Reading builds the confidence of children towards learning. A child that can read has a level of confidence about his or her ability to learn. There's this confidence that comes with learning that is associated with the ability of a child to read. So reading is very fundamental. Read for them, read with them. Read for them, read with them. Read for them and read with them. And read, do you understand? Be part of it. You can even decide to read a book together depending on the age of your child. Maybe a book you have read, you pass it down to them to read. And see how that will further bond your relationship with your child. Reading is very important to raising a smart child. There is no limitation for a child that has developed the habit of reading. Such child is limitless. Do you understand? Such child is limitless. And such a child does not see any learning endeavor as too tedious. A child that can read barely, it's very rare for such a child to see any learning endeavor as, it's something I cannot achieve, because they know it's about my ability to read this thing and comprehend it. So let me go ahead. Reading is very fundamental to raising smart children. I'll go into some other things now that has to do with routines. Bedtime routine is very important. Smartness is linked to rest. The ability of the brain to rest does a lot of magic to the brain. So helping our children earn good rest. Teenagers have a challenge with that because of, access to devices and all that, chatting with friends, social media platforms and all that. it takes them off sleep, and it affects their productivity, their capacity to be smart and be their best in the course of their day. So we need to be very intentional about this. A bedtime routine would help our children develop their capacity to be smart and to be detailed. Volunteering. I'm sure this might sound awkward, but sincerely, it is one very powerful tool you need to raise a smart child. Volunteering starts from the home. Do you understand? It starts from the home. Someone should please join me on this project. Possibly you just want to make snacks, which is not your regular meal. There's no schedule for that. On a weekend. Okay, who will join me? Let's make these snacks. Okay, what are the things we're going to do to make these snacks? We get flour, we get this, we get that. We mix it. So who is doing what? That's how volunteering starts. And I say to parents, every important life skill is developed from the home front. Every important life skill is developed from the home front. Volunteering inclusive. Volunteering opens up the mind of the child to a different world entirely, which is different from the norm of, okay, go to work, earn a pay and all of it. Do you understand? So, the first thing it does for your child, once, ensure it's age appropriate though. So, which is volunteering outside the home. The first thing it does for your child is it helps them think outside the regular scope of life. They are used to work and earn a pay. It may not be, which is not direct most times, but they know their parents work, their uncles, their teachers. They have a private lesson teacher. They know the person earns a pay. But this time around, you're going to old people's home. You're going to motherless baby home. You're going to clean up a portion in your community that you will not earn something for. What it does is it helps children develop the ability to live a fulfilled life. It helps them see how to do same in line with their passion, or do something similar to such in line with their passion. Volunteering expands the mind of the children to a lot of strengths, capacity, and positive abilities. So, if you have a child who is of age appropriate, expose them to volunteering. It could start from your place of worship. Someone has a project, encourage them to go and volunteer. In the next coming third term holiday, encourage them to go and intern in an organization, possibly around your place of work or within your locality or something. That way, they are volunteering for a cause. They are learning, they are growing their capacities, they are building their CV. Yes. But it exposes children to a whole new world entirely. In our places of worship, encourage them to be involved. It's an aspect of volunteering for kingdom. Do you understand? Encourage them to be involved. Encourage them to add value. Encourage them to be a person of value. Smartness will automatically follow such a child. You cannot see a child involved in volunteering that will not be smart. It is just not possible. Because there's a joy and fulfillment that rounds up every volunteering activity. That is way beyond money. And what it does for your child, you cannot comprehend it. It's beyond what you can measure. Because it goes way into every aspect of their life, both now and in the future. So let's encourage volunteering at different levels. Yes, it must be age appropriate because it's a powerful tool for raising smart children. Another very important part of raising and tool to raise smart children is avoiding the perfection trap. avoiding the perfection trap. This is a trap that has fallen a lot of mighty people. What's the perfection trap? Perfection trap is a situation where someone that is seen as good, someone that is seen as smart, someone that is seen as exceptional is trying to do something, and when the thing does not look like or feel like the standard he or she wants to see, then the person writes himself up. It's a trap that leads to anxiety and can lead to depression in young people. So, as parents, it's okay to set the standards. It's okay to raise our children in a way that they know this is the standard and we don't want to fall short of it. However, in circumstances where we do fall short of it, we are not supposed to throw away the child with the bathwater. We are not supposed to judge the child critically. And we are not supposed to make the child that he or she is not good enough. Because this perfection trap makes a child feel not good enough, makes a child feel, if I'm not offering something perfect, if I'm not acting exceptional in a place, then I'm a failure, then I'm not good enough, then I'm of no value. So we need to be conscious of this and conscious of the fact that a child must not just look at things and see the flaw. They must look at things, see the effort, see the good side of it. Yes, it might have flaws, but it's important we keep their mind sane. We keep their mind running. We keep their natural growing tendencies on as they grow. Let them know that it is human to err. I'm not saying we should give room for excuses. We should give room for failures and all that. But in the midst of it, perfectionism may not be the result at all times. But it should not change the fact that this is still you. That imperfect situation, that imperfect result, that imperfect circumstance or outcome should not be the definition of the child. We can express how we feel, but we should be conscious about the situation, not about the child. We must draw the line between the child and that situation. Because over time, such children get into depression. The anxiety to give the best puts them in a tight corner, in a fix. And they want to go for that best. And if it's not that best, they condemn themselves. Anxiety sets in. Some can even slide into drugs and negative addictions just to cover up because they cannot see themselves in that seemingly lesser state. And I want to link this to making mistakes. Let our children learn from their mistakes. Let them know it's human to make mistakes. And let them be able to live their life. Even though they make mistakes, let them be able to know that mistakes are part of the steps towards success. Errors is part of the steps and the process to achieving success. Tell them the stories of great men. The man that invented the bulb, he tried it over 1,000 times. Tell them the stories, especially at times when they feel, oh, I shouldn't have made this mistake. I shouldn't have made this error. Tell them to sit down and find out how they got into this error. This will help them know that smartness does not take you completely off errors. Smartness is not a final destination. It's a journey. So your ability to even come out of a mistake is a sign that you are smart. Because you will pick your lessons and move on. You pick your lessons, move on, learn from it. Implement it in the next thing you are doing, and you will be above that error. in the next phase of your life or your activities as a child. Building connection. Building connection. Connections are relationship between people, and it is a vital tool of influence. Relationship is a very strong tool of influence. There's a way you have to do certain things, not because you wanted to, but because someone connected to you wants you to. There are certain things you said you won't do. Maybe a mentor, maybe a friend, you value each other, encourage you to. Do you understand? And the same way it is for our children. The ability to be smart in a child can even be fueled from the relationship between the child and the parent. The parents can encourage it, and once there's a relationship, there's a vibrant relationship between the parent and the child, then the child would most likely just want to do it. Yes, they would understand the benefit, but another reason that can propel them is their relationship with their parents. And research has it that children who has a blooming relationship with their children that can assess their parents in terms of expressing how they feel, and they know they will not be judged or shut down. They have their capacity, they have this natural longing to become best at what they are doing or whatever they desire to do. Smartness inclusive. So to raise a smart child, build a connection, build a relationship with your child. Not because of anything, but because your child know that my mom's got me, my dad's got me, my parents got me. Do you understand? That alone is an assurance for the child on the journey towards smartness. Smartness requires some level of risk, some level of taking chances. It requires a level of creativity. Let me give this a chance. A child that is sure that I have a relationship with my child will take chances. Not because they want to be careless with life, but because they know this thing can result in what I want. And they know that mistakes is part of learning. When they make mistakes, their parents are with them on that journey. They are not being judged. They are not being condemned. They will not be thrown away with the bathwater. Do you understand? So, the area of building connection, are we saying that you will not correct your child? Are we saying that there won't be room for discipline? Far from it. But what we are saying is your child know you've got him, you've got her. Irrespective. You messed up, just come. You disappointed yourself too, and you have disappointed us too as your parents. However, it's part of life. It's part of the journey of growth. Do you understand? When the child knows that my errors will be corrected, but I will not be condemned, then the child has this confidence in themselves, in their ability, in the potentials in them to display smartness. So building connection, relationship with a child is a tool of success, is a tool of smartness that they need to sojourn life successfully. Since smartness is linked to cognitive development, then exercising the brain is a very important tool towards raising a smart child. Exercising the brain. And there are some activities that's been proven scientifically to help children, become smart. Activities, and they're actually games also. There are puzzles. This includes puzzles, chess, different board games, Lego bricks, Scrabble. These activities, board games generally help children to develop smartness because it requires the capacity to think critically. It requires the capacity to solve problems. Do you understand? It helps our children think of, okay, if I'm in this situation, what do I do? Do you understand? So that's what it does for them. So those activities are like brain development activities. They help to develop the brain. They exercise the brain the same way we exercise our bodies to maximize its potentials. The same way exercising the brain maximizes the potentials of the brain and helps the cognitive capacities of the child to develop. Hence, smartness becomes the result. It helps them think faster, bring results faster, and not just results, but accurate ones that are brought out logically in line with the situation at hand. And there's one very important one to hear. It's chores. Chores. Chores, chores, chores. I am a massive evangelist of engaging children. Seriously, I don't take it for granted because an unengaged child will engage you. A child you don't engage enough will engage you, will keep you on your toes. What is he doing? What is she doing? What can they be up to now? What is, you are anxious. There's continuous anxiety on you simply because your child is not properly engaged. So it's important to help our children become properly engaged with age-appropriate chores. Research has it, 30 years research has it that children that are involved in chores from early age, at age-appropriate levels, tend to succeed better in school and succeed better in life and build better relationships. So chores help children a whole lot. It helps them in different dimensions, from problem solving to critical thinking to creativity to being resourceful. It helps them in different dimensions. And these are the ingredients that makes for a smart child. So you want to engage a smart child, you want to raise a smart child, then let them be involved in chores. Am I saying when they start they will be perfect? Far from it. The same way when you started, you weren't perfect. Yes. Think back when you started washing plate. Think back the first time you had to lit matches. Think back. What was it like? Was trepidation and all of it, and a lot of drama. But here you are today. You can lie down and even power your gas. Don't do that too. Do you get? So let's involve our children in chores that are age appropriate. It will help their growth and their development in life, and of course their capacity to become smart. Those are the ingredients that makes a child smart. It makes a child very smart. The last and not the least is building team spirit. Building team spirit. One thing we must teach our children on their journey, because we liken smartness to just academic excellence, but it's much more than that. Do you understand? However, one thing we must help our children do on this journey to raising smart children is help them build team spirit. Let's not create unhealthy rivalry spirit in them on their journey to being smart. Let's not teach them that smartness is outdoing another person. No. It is outdoing your past records based on growth, based on exposure, based on capacity development. That's what smartness is. Smartness is not a journey of outdoing the other person. It's not a journey of raising children who will be involved in unhealthy rivalry. It's a big error we must not enter into. It's a big error we must fight with everything. Team spirit. No one is an island of knowledge. And since we know that, we must teach our children the same thing. Exemplifying that in the home. Do you understand? You want to do something, do it as a team. Mention the place of delegation. Mention the place of the input of everybody, especially everybody that was involved in getting a task done. Don't just talk about your own input or your own input. No. Yeah, thank you for helping me bring water. We are a team. Together, everybody achieves more. Emphasize team spirit, because smartness has become a tool that some persons have used to disorganize their journey by running a race of outdoing the other person, outdoing the other department, outdoing, and going off the cliff, doing some immoral things, illegal things, just to outdo and make people celebrate them as smart. No. No one is an island of knowledge. We must emphasize that to our children. You are not smart if all you know is what you know. If you cannot accommodate the input of others, especially when it's relevant to what you have to do, then you are not a team player and is not a character of a smart person. Let's emphasize that to our children. Let's groom them into it. You need others to survive. We all need ourselves. We are all complements as human beings. Yes, they should be careful of people that are not ready to move. However, when they have people that are ready to move, it's important we groom them. That smartness include complementing others. If you are good at this, there are other people that are good at other things. Be part of what they are doing. See how you can add what you are doing to what they are doing. Do you understand? It's part of the traits of a smart person. Being able to relate with others, being able to complement others, being able to add value to others, and being able to get value from others in a teamwork. It's a very important tool. Else, there's nobody that is smart alone. There's no organization that is getting results that is just the MDCU. It's not possible. Do you understand? We all are a team. We all complement ourselves and model this from the home front. Thank you so much for being part of this. I'm sure you've gotten massive value. Noteworthy is our goal for this. Is to support you in helping your child develop their internal tools. It's internal tools that makes for smartness. Internal tools, because it has to do with cognitive ability. And I just want to mention something finally, which I slightly omitted, and it has to do with diet. Diet also helps the brain to develop. Healthy diet, healthy meals, brain developing meals. Do you understand? Encouraging our children, adding it to their menu, adding it to their meals, it will help them. And as they grow older, let's encourage them to make healthy choices when it comes to their meals. So finally, our goal is to support you in helping your child develop their internal tools that will help them pursue their passion, cope with difficulties, build relationships that are healthy, and become the best they desire to be. Thank you so much for joining this session. Like you know, and I said earlier, it's not enough to have information. It's enough to maximize it and become parents that raise smart kids. Thank you and God bless you.